Yeah, good morning, everyone. Testing, testing, testing. All right, I think that works. BNFX, you have the same zone. That makes sense. Hold on, let me see. Let me join you guys on TikTok comment section. Focus TikTok. Hey, BNFX, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, guys. Happy New Week and welcome to a new week. All right, a week that we hope to correct all the errors of previous week because that should be the goal of everyone, right? On every new week, you look back, think about what you did wrong that made you remain in the situation that you still are, if there's any. If it is improvement you want to make on your trading journey, Monday should be the day where you try to tell yourself that this week I am hoping to make this happen. I'm hoping to not make this happen. Blah 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 blah. So yeah, gold has continued buying up. You guys remember that towards the end, I think those on the Telegram channel should know this, that I took this sell, and that should be the last trade I took for last week. You know, apart from the crypto one that I did, during the the quick dump, right? But this is the last trade. Now, because it was Friday, I did not enter this buy trade, this second buy trade. I did not enter this one because it was already Friday and the market was about to close, anyways. So you don't know what might happen, but as you guys can see, gold is pumping. Now we need to talk about what might be responsible for this movement, like for these things that you are seeing in the market, the crypto one, the gold one. We need to talk about the reason or the possible reason that could be behind, you know, the market moving as it is moving right now. Like it or not, taking a loss or not, this has been the best period for traders so far for those who are able to take advantage of it. But the Forex game is like a two-edged sword that if you are not taking advantage of it, then it is taking advantage of you, right? So for those who know what they are doing, or for those who could spot what is going on, they probably would have made a lot of money in this market condition. But for those, like for us who have little to no information and we are just trading with our emotions and everything, it might be very, 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 very bad on our account. And I think that's what most of us are facing right now, where the market condition is almost unpredictable and everybody wants to stick with the idea that there are, you know, just some type of analysts. The technical analyst will always look at himself as a technical analyst regardless. Even if he has to check the news and everything at all time, it doesn't really mean that he sees himself as a general data analyst. Is always going to be looking at the lines on the chart, and that is what is going to make to let him make his decisions at the end of the day. All right. So are you in any trade yet, Ben? I just came. I'm not in any trade yet. Trying to see if I can cash one soon though. You guys are welcome. Good morning. Welcome to a new week. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning. A new week for us to try again, right? I don't think the drop on BTC or crypto in general is over. I think it's going to still drop very much because crypto, if you guys have been following, it's like there are two phases of price movement in crypto. First, the impulse, whereby a news or a fundamental activities um, make it move. It could be a tweet from a very influential person or anything. And then the sentiment comes in, and then people start speculating: is it going to recover? Is it going to go down? And then all these theories start coming out. People start saying or making videos about some government activity going on, even if it's true or not, and people are definitely going to believe because crypto is more like an asset class. People are not trading crypto because they want to store value like gold. Gold is a store of value, but for crypto, people wants to make money. It's an investment opportunity for a lot of people. So what they are doing there is, put money into crypto and hope that it grows. And the moment it grows, you don't trust it too well to leave your asset in it. So you want to quickly take it out, right? So that's what many people are doing when it comes to crypto. And that is why it is easy to see a flash drop like that. Now, have it in mind that what happened last week was not um, about crypto alone. It was not a manipulation on crypto or anything. It's just that it shows a lot on crypto. And when I say that, I feel like I'm being too generous because even the stock market too took a very very big hit. In fact, they actually take the worst hit. People who are trading stock, they probably lost a lot more than people who are just trading or holding crypto, because I think about 1.7 trillion dollars was wiped out of stock. All right. And in the following 2 hours, I think it went to as high as to 7 trillion wiped out of stock. But you don't see them saying or talking too much about it, because to them it's an investment and the stock value are going to increase again. So they don't need to worry about that. This might probably be my first trade of today for Bitcoin. I'll be attempting to take my first trade here. Stop loss above there. Let me see if that's going to work out. So for those on the Telegram channel, you see that I've posted the link to this particular trade. Let's see if we can make this as the first attempt for today. Um, so this is Bitcoin, and I'm attempting to sell it at 115k 315. I'm setting my limit right now. Okay, so for me, my limit is set. I'm waiting for it at that level. I'll explain about the setup later when I'm done setting my limit. But if you are also seeing the same thing and you want to try, well, that's up to you. My target for this is going to be to create a lower low, but I'll be securing some profit around here just in case. So first TP is going to be around, yeah, 112k if I get triggered. Well, I'm yet to get triggered, so let's see how this goes. Also, I'm having this setup on volatility index 75. I've been waiting for it to get to this level. I guess it did not get to my premium level, but it actually came good enough. So the next thing I would like to see is to have a structure change internally here. For me, this is going to be enough. So if I see a push below this level, hopefully I'll have some reaction here to use as liquidity. But regardless, if I see a push below this level, I'll start looking for sales because sales will become more interesting. And you see it on like the 5 minute time frame or on even the lower time frame, like let's say 1 minute, that there will be a change of character inside here. So that is what I'll be waiting for now, and probably I'll use this extreme as my entry when that happens. And that's for V751S. Another thing is I will only be looking at this pair throughout today for volatility. I will not be interested in taking trades on other pairs. I just want to follow the price movement of one and see if I can come out profitable at the end of the day. Bitcoin is yet to trigger, and I believe gold is yet to come to the entry. So let's see. So for good, it's still very, very strong at the top there. There's nothing we can do about it. And don't be fooled by any of these little reactions that it does that shows that it wants to go down. If I would be interested in any sales on gold, is when it has done like a double break of a 15-minute formation. So for instance, if it does go and close bearish below this level, like after this candle close, the next one close bearish, just like this one. Then I'll be interested in attempting a sell on gold. But for now, I don't think any sales are or have any good probability. So it's better to avoid it completely. You know, it's better to avoid it completely. For this one is interesting because it's a structural break, right? And also it has some liquidity sitting inside of it. So a buy from here could easily give me a 1 2 3. So I'll be looking to get in if the market gets back here for sure. But it all depends on how it acts when it's approaching that level. All right. But this is a place that I'm interested in taking a buy from for good. All right. The only trade that I'm in or that I'm like I have a limit set on right now is Bitcoin. And I'll show you guys that in a minute. Let me just This one, everybody is quiet today. What's going on? Oh, you guys are not fully awake yet. It's still 7:26. I came to do my um should I say back testing, or actually to um check to see if there's anything I can improve on before the market opens properly. So I'm not in a haste to take any trade right now. But I've just been looking through all the trades that I took last week, all the ones that I could have done better. Of course, all these trades that you're seeing, I only took this one, but these are potential trades that I missed. And this is something that I like to do. Um, at the end of every day or every week, I just come around and then I look at all the trades that I took and all the ones that I didn't, maybe out of fear or maybe out of anything. And then I'll try to see if there is a way I can improve on them so that I can catch the good ones and avoid the bad ones on the next week. That way I can be refining my trades. All right. So for instance, I did not take this buy here. So this one is not a trade I made profit on. This one also, even though I saw it, I did not take it. This is the one I explained earlier. The market was closing on Friday. All right, so I took this sell. I took my profit around here. This was actually the sell that made me recover most of my almost bad trades for last week. Last week started very well. I made, I think, around $300 in the first 2 days, and then things turned bad, and I almost lost it all to losses. But then that last trade helped me to come back to that level. So I guess if I had stopped trading on Tuesday, I probably would have been the same or even better, because all the other attempts that I made almost made me lost what I was making on the Mondays. All right. So that is another thing that I often look into, the times that I should have avoided trades. Or one thing that I've also come to realize is that we don't really split our hunt in this forex market. So for instance, every day someone will wake up and say, I want to make, let's say for instance, I want to make $1,000, $2,000, $5,000. Everybody's looking at what they really want to make overall. But then we don't often divide it into the numbers of days and time that we have to spend on the chart. So for instance, let me use my own as an example. So if I make $200 to $500 per week, I am okay. Like, I've noticed that any week that I can confidently say that I made 200 or $500, between 200 to $500 for now, is a happy week for me. Now, that's not me trying to say that I am not looking for more, but my experience so far have taught me that any week that I end up with at least 200 to 500, or even if it's 100, so far it's a profit, I am happy. But then we'll come to chart and we have 5 days in a week, and we're about to start trading, and we want to make that 500 on that first day. All right, so you have an account. Let's say for example, you have an account for $500. You are trading it. On the first day, you just want to make $500, $10,000, because why not? If you can, why not, right? But here's the problem: the why not part of it, because you're going to be making too many attempts. You're going to be trying when you are not supposed to be trying. You're not going to stop when you're supposed to stop. So, for instance, me, I think I made that first $200 to $300 in on the Monday. All right. And then on Tuesday, I could just be hunting like $50, $20, whatever. Right. And I'll still be good. But on the Tuesday, I still wanted to make a lot more. You understand? And it is not bad, yeah. It is not bad. But that is exactly, yeah. That's exactly what actually ruins us. Because at the end of the week, I was happy overall because I checked and the week was in profit. I had made some improvement on my account. And even though it was just like $200, I was happy. And that was for last week. All right. It was just $200. I was happy. But I remember that all through the trades that I took, there was no single trade that I never wished for like 200, like a single trade. Meanwhile, at the end of the week, I'm happy with 200. So why should I be putting all that pressure on one trade? Which at that point is just like it's just like that is all you are doing in the forex market, and the forex market will just like be laughing you. Exactly. Have a realistic target, and if you do make more, you'll be happy. But it's also going to be the constraint for you that if you are going beyond what you're supposed to target, or let's say you make $70 on the day, then you can easily just tell yourself, if I'm coming back to 50, I'll stop. I was meant to make 500 total to pass the first phase. Oh, cool. But the account is still like you did not overtrade or actually go worse than you are supposed to go, right? If that is the case, then you should be fine. You should be fine. Yeah. Mine too. I am in a very serious drawdown on an FTMO account that I was actually messing around with for a couple of weeks now. Usually, when I was really busy with funded accounts, yeah, you guys know that I said that I don't trade funded accounts lately. But when I was still very active with funded accounts, I don't hold challenge account for long. All right. I just come into the challenge and I give it my all, and I risk like 2% per trade and all that, because that was the formula that I was using then. I tried it this time since I am already accustomed to trading with consistency. I tried that this time and it doesn't look like it is working. Yeah. So I have to roll it back and start trading consistently again. So it's like something that I need to readapt to again, because I completely stepped away from funded accounts ever since TFT and my first fund packed up. All right. Remaining 300 now to pass. Nice one. Nice one. Me, I'm even in a drawdown right now, but I feel like it shouldn't be a problem. I will still pass. It's actually a challenge to me, and I like that. If I am in a drawdown and I need to do more to pass, it's actually a challenge to me. It doesn't fail at the end of the day, but I'll see. I'll see to it. I'll see to it. I want to pass so that I can, tell myself that I did it, because the account is almost gone. Honestly, it's almost gone. But on my personal account, things are okay. They're very okay. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I think this trade should be activated for me now. Yep, I am in this trade right now. As you can see, guys, just risk it a little bit because it's like the first trade of the day and also the first trade for the week. So I'm just like warming up. All right, warming up to see is the same trade on the other account. So just warming up to see, this is Bitcoin. If you are here and you're looking at it, this is Bitcoin on the 5 minute time frame, and I am attempting a sell from the 115,315 price point. Stop loss is going to be around 116,125. Let's see if we can get like a quick 1 to 3 to start our trading week, or maybe more, because Bitcoin is literally dumping right now. So you never can tell. It might go further, right? So if I see any attempts to take shots, that is what I will be doing for BTC, and that's exactly why I am in this trade right now. So if you're just joining, welcome and good morning, and welcome to a new week. Good. This is exactly what I like to see. Um, it has done the reaction to what I call a protected low. For those who don't know, this is volatility index 75 1S. Synthetic pair. If you don't know about synthetic pair, I'll explain that later. And I've been following this for a while. It actually did me dirty. I took this trade and I stayed in this trade for like 6 hours, bro. 6 hours. It was giving me like a 1 to 1, 1 to 2. I was contemplating whether to close the trade, but at the end of the day, after I did this pullback, I told everyone to set it to break even on the Telegram channel. And as you can see, it came back, it took me out at break even, and then went as far as 1 to 2. Yeah, 1 to 2. Then still came back for me. So overall, if I had held this trade by force, because I was targeting like a 1 to 3, I was targeting this price point there. If I had held this trade, I would have taken a loss because, as you guys can see, the market actually went below it. All right, it went below it before heading upwards. The trade is valid, the trade is okay, but I think it just used that area as liquidity uh instead of respecting it, and that tells you that selling from this point becomes valid because the low has been violated, right? So that is the last trade attempt that I made on volatility index. I was not here when he did this change of character, so I did not take the buy. But today I will be looking to see if I can continue the sell from here, and that's why I'm waiting for this confirmation around this price point. If it gives me the full confirmation, then I engage for a sell. So for now, it is still reacting at that level. It is still maintaining the buying structure. I need it to change to a selling structure before I can engage. That's what I am looking for right here on volatility index 75 1S. What if price sweep liquidity on the other hand? What on the other hand? You mean, is it on this pair? Pharaoh got paid. Is it on this pair? Are you talking about sweeping this liquidity? I don't understand. Anyways, so that's the trading plan that I have right now, or that's what I'll be looking into, or that's what I will be waiting for. But for now, just need to be patient. It's yet to give me that full signal. Bitcoin, on the other hand, I'm already in the trade, and um, hopefully it's a good one. Reason for the trade. Let's do the analysis real quick. So we all know that market has been dumping, and all that. And when I saw the drop last week, all right, when I saw is it last week or on Friday? I think it was on Friday, right? Or Saturday that this thing happened. At some point, I took a little short here, but I guess that one was not with any analysis or anything. I just saw it dropping real quick, and I know something was up, and I just took a very little position. I think somewhere around here there was a little pullback there. Uh, I took the position. I made a little bit of profit. I will not call that a trade. I'll call that a gamble. But why am I taking this trade? So far, it has been pulling back, and I can see that it is not pulling back with any serious strength in it. It's not pulling back with aggression, which means that if I see any, just like this one, see how that pullback is weak. This is a weak pullback, and the moment you start seeing a selling sign, you should just engage in it. All right, it's just purely based on price action. Price action tell you that buyers are weak, and anytime you see a sell attempt, you should get in. It's the same thing here. All right, so the buyers are weak. I see a strong sell suggestion. It is Monday, the market is about to start going. I mean, it is worth the risk, so I took it. Regardless, I still went in with a very, very um uh low risk. That way, even if it doesn't play out, I am not affected by it at all. All right. because you don't want to gamble your money at this point. Today is Monday. If you start gambling from Monday, God knows if you are going to survive it till Friday, right? The other one is gold, and it is still playing around that top there. I would not fall for this little sell yet unless it goes below that line that I drew there. All right. So I don't know if you guys can see there is this little resistance that it has formed below here on the 15 minutes and the 30 minutes time frame. So on the 15 minutes it looks like this. I'm sorry guys, my system is a little bit laggy because I'm streaming from it and I feel like the memory it's not too strong for it. So like I said before, I said if it goes below this little resistance that is forming here and it is still a strong selling candle, then I will attempt a sell, maybe a little sell down to this level if it is worth it. And what I mean by if it is what it is, let's say if I can get into a sell somewhere around here and the stop loss is going to be around here, at this point it should be at least 1 to 2. If not, then it is not worth it for me. All right, because that's the first level I expect a resistance from, and as you guys can see, it seems like it is like a 1 to 2 or close to a 1 to 2. Another reason why that place might be attractive is it is the beginning of a new day, and of course, if you go to like the daily time frame, I believe that the daily time frame candle, which has done this very big push, all right. The only reason why you should have done this very big push to the upside so early with still 14 hours to spare is if you intend to pull back later. All right. And if you guys can see the last 2 days candle, all right, the last 2 days candle, it has just started picking up the buy strength again after this 1 week sell that is here. All right, and an average movement on gold on a daily candle is often from 50 to 60 point, 50 to 80 points. So if you measure all the heights of all the daily candles, the biggest one that you see on gold so far, if I measure it out for you, like this one is very big. So let's assume that today is also going to be a very big candle. But if you measure it, you see that the average movement on a daily is from 50 to 80 points. I can do it for another one also. This one you can see the entire movement lasted for 84 pips. So let's just say that it's between 50 to 100 pips, right? That is the average price movement or the average candle range for gold that we have seen so far. Of course, there are days that you see smaller ones, but I go for the big ones just so I know that um, I am, counting in everything there is on the market, right? So if the biggest that I've seen is 50 to 100 pips price movement, it then means that if I have a candle today and the candle on the first 10 hours have already made around 72 pips, so there's really not much that it can keep going. So let me even give it the benefit of the doubt and give it 100 pips. It means that if it is not already trying to flip, all right, if it is not already trying to flip to the downside, it's probably already exhausting his buy strength because it cannot get stuck at one level for way too long, right? So at this point, it's probably already trying to decide if it's going to, if this is like a liquidity grab and then a dump to the downside. If that is what the plan for today is, then it's probably already looking for a way to turn. So if I do cash a trade like that from the top, it might be beneficial to me. It might be worth the risks. That's all I'm trying to stress out. So if you see a formation that points to the market actually trying to, flip into a sell, it's really not like a very bad idea to try to cash it. But in order to cash a trade like that, you want to wait for a complete confirmation. All right. You want to see that the sellers are really taking control. So just one candlestick should not be enough. All right, just one candlestick should not be enough for you to make your decision on something like that. But if I start seeing like a structure on the lower time frame, which will be this one, you can see it rejected for a bit, but you can also see the weakness in the rejection. So it tried to pull back up, but all the candles are inside bar to just this one. So if I see another bearish impulse, if I see another bearish impulse, let's say another engulfing candle, that is telling me that the sellers are stepping in and it is worth the risk. So I might decide to, attempt a sell from there, but I will not be expecting anything much from the sales in a bullish market condition, right? So I'll be targeting something very close, and that's why I said if I do my RR projection and it's not up to 1 to 2, then it means it is not worth it. But in this case, it's like exactly 1 to 2. So we'll see how it goes. And we'll see if the market gives us that opportunity that we are talking about here. Razi FX, good morning. Welcome. Bitcoin, let's check our trade on BTC. Oh, wow. Seems like we should be in profit already. Seems like that zone is holding. And let me see what I have. Right now, this is what I am looking at on that position. That was the entry there. That was the entry there. Exactly that point. So let's see how it's going to go. The other account, same story. Same story on the other account. Although this one, I decided to go very, very low risk with a larger stop loss. That way, I will make sure it's covering everything. Also, because the spread on this particular account is a lot bigger than the other one. So we'll see how the trade goes. Good morning, Cloudy. Welcome to a new week, my bro. How you doing, man? Razi, I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Let's make this week better than last week, brother. Let's go into this week with full preparedness for whatever the market has to offer. All right. Last week was a lot of, a bit of trying, but it wasn't enough. So this week, let's see if we can be a little bit more serious with our consistency, because that's all that is biting us right now from my observation. And guys, let's not forget to like, okay? We need to be at 5k likes soon. That way TikTok can promote us and will not take us for granted or, take us down as usual, okay? So this one is still cooking. Volatility index 75 1S for those who are wondering. I will be looking for a trade around here. It is still cooking. Nothing to worry about yet here. And I plan to trade only this pair this week, and I plan to follow like literally every move that it's making. I'm not trying to take every trade, but I'm going to be trading based on this particular pair's price action this week. That way I will be able to know exactly where the market is and what part of the story it's telling at what point, right? So I'll be looking, because only this pair alone, I observed that last week, if you were trading only volatility in the 75 alone, it should be enough for you if you were risking properly. So instead of wasting all that time looking at different pairs, I'll be sticking to this one alone for volatility this week, and I'll be following all the price movement. I noticed that I've been doing a lot better by just trading it alone. Regardless, I'll still do all your analysis for you. So if you have anyone that you are trying to ask of, you can feel free to ask the question. If you need me to look into a particular pair for you, I'll still do all that for you, and that can also keep our live stream very active. All right. But for me, I'm going to be trading a few pairs today. Bitcoin for crypto, gold for FX, gold and GDP USD for FX. All right, but that is it for me. Or maybe at 2:30. Yeah, maybe at 2:30. We're also going to. I did not take any of this trade, regardless. At 2:30, we're also going to be looking at Nasdaq. All right, I'm going to be looking at Nasdaq because that's the equity open. US 9:30. So we're going to be looking at this one too. For now, this one I think is consolidating. In order to decide or to make a decision on what to do, I like to see clear liquidity on one end. So it could be this one and then a break of structure to the other end. That is when I will be interested in taking any trades. It could be that, or it could be this one, clear liquidity to the upside, break a structure to the downside, and then I start looking for a drop. So this is the game plan for GDP USD. Until that happens, I'm not interested in anything. It has been consolidating, so there's no way of telling what the market is doing or where it's about to go, even though it is reacting from a reasonable zone from last week. Last week information cannot really be used to judge what this week might do. So you want to see a formation on this pair before you make your decisions, right? Same thing for Euro USD. Um, Consolidating at this point. All this information is based on last week, so you cannot call it change of character or anything. Anything that you're seeing at this point today, this morning, you cannot really say there is a change of character here or there is a structure change here. I would like to see what this morning is going to do, and for me, the game plan is simply take liquidity on one side, break structure to the other side. Then I look for a re-entry and a continuation. That is what I'm going to be expecting on any um, forex pair that looks interesting to me today. Apart from that, any game plan or trying to say there is a change of character here from last week, I don't think is a valid reasoning or a valid way of looking at it anymore. It's a new week. Allow the new week to start and then you follow. Bitcoin still struggling, still holding the trade, still playing around break even. Not sure if it is ready to drop yet, but I mean it regardless. I'm not risking much. I'm just risking a little bit just to see and to get my hands wet today. And for the most part, if there are no questions or anything, I have some books that I plan to be reading today. So which one is the first one? So 12 by book two, book one of the Eight of Chronicle. Okay. Most of the books in ads, root or written East-West magazine. How they did Nephilim and God seekers from the distant alien planet use cloning, scraping, and the army imagine it. Why did these gods seek the destruction of humankind through the great flood determined 1,000 years ago? What happens when the planet returns to Earth vicinity every 36 centuries? Do purple and science conflict? We aware of planets heavily scholarship for thousands of years, priests, poets, and scientists have tried to explain how life began, how every humanist scholar has come forth, which shows that is most astonishing and more enterprise.
Sell where you go shop, body go. They don't start. They don't start. They don't start. It is early morning on a Monday. You call yourself a trader, and all you care about is to look for who is eating SL. That is what is going to give you joy. That's your own. That is what you care about. Hmm? If you're already thinking like that, then how are you prepared for trading this week? Because it seems like hitting SL is a sin to you. Rated. Hitting SL is a sin to you. So anybody where chop SL supposed to dey cry. No, it's supposed to dey hide in face, or I supposed to dey shame say I hit SL. Or like I find it difficult to understand how me hitting SL and you telling me about hitting SL is a thing of pleasure or joy to you. I don't even understand what I know really they concern about them. Or I they try understand waiting be your reason to call yourself trader if you see another person hit SL and you no understand saying a normal thing. Like, how is that a bad thing? I dey try understand them. SL where you go chop body go tell me. Like, you know they ready to chop SL. Is that what you're saying? That you will never hit SL? Like, I don't know how some of our traders they reason, to be honest. Like, the reasoning they so fucked up and una never even realize them. You think you know it all. You think you come to the forex market and you should be okay. Like, nothing should touch your money. That's the mindset. Hmm? And you think you're a trader. You think you are going to be a trader. You think you are going to make it in this industry. I find it very, very, very difficult when I see people say things like that. Me where they trade, I don't already they ready to shop my SL. You think reminding me about the SL is going to make me feel some type of way, or like it's going to make you feel some type of way? Baba, I'm just stating facts, bro. I no understand which facts waiting concern BTC is in an uptrend and I get my reason to take a sell. Then how is you stating facts like that, the way you said it, essay where you go shop body go tell you, how does that make any difference, bro? You just sound so dumb. That is what I'm trying to tell you. Like, you sound like you are not a trader yet, like you are never going to make it in trading if you keep thinking like that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I did like leave una before, but today I won't open an eye to some kind thing. Like, how does that make any sense to you? Like, it's hitting an SL is a bad thing. Hmm? I'm just stating facts, bro. BTC is in an uptrend. You are selling. How is BTC in an uptrend, brother? How is BTC in an uptrend? BTC is in an uptrend, but people have been crying that market is dumping because of a little retracement. BTC is in an uptrend. So if you go to like the 4 hour, the daily time frame now, you also say that BTC is in an uptrend. I swear, una get it is not even about the idea of whether BTC is in an uptrend now or is in a downtrend, but the way you said it, say where you go chop, everybody go tell you, like it doesn't make sense at all. The mindset is just so cooked, but you never realize. For your mind, you dey make sense. Ataya, now your SL, you're aggressively trying to teach me a lesson. Hmm? You were know where SL dey. Why you never dey drive Benz? Na only you sabi where SL dey, and you're even proud of. Like, may nobody tease, may nobody even like. I get time for now today. Oh. If you don't know anything to talk, just pass. They go. No be your money. Allow me shop my SL. You will know say BTC is in an uptrend, but you know they inside any buying trade now. Make I see. Hmm? Why now? Suppose they buy Lambo now, no. Oh yeah, break and do the retest for me. Let me see. Gold, 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 gold. I am not in any of this trade yet. These are just projections, like I said, before somebody go see I did inside trade. This is just something I like to see. So if you are seeing these drawings on my chart, they are just a projection of what I like to see and what I'm hoping to get. Hope you guys understand. So for this one now, I feel like if there is a break below this level, I could easily engage in a trade, you know, for a sell to this level. It is worth it, in my opinion, even though the market is clearly in an uptrend. Yeah. Um, if I see that weakness in the buying side, because I'm a price action trader, of course, I can easily decide to engage and try to take a sell. As a matter of fact, if I see this candle going below this level, I'll actually make that attempt to take a trade. But again, just like the trade on BTC, it's going to be very, very, very low risk because this is like you testing the waters and trying to see if you can actually cash, the next move in the market. And when I say cash the next move, meaning you are following what the market is doing, you are not trying to suggest for the market. So you see it breaking structure to the downside, you see the weakness, you spot everything that the market is doing, and you're hoping that you make the right choice to follow it on that journey or on that path to go and accomplish whatever it is planning to do, right? So we're going to see that happen today. Let's see if there is a break below this level, and then we'll be interested. But for now, the only trade that I'm in on is Bitcoin, and it is a sell regardless of the direction of the market because I like giving people my SL. And I like my body, they tell me. So looking at this formation on the 30-minute time frame, you guys will see that it's literally the same thing that I'm looking for on gold right now. All right, at that top there. So you see how the market is bullish, 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 bullish with all these trends, and anytime the market wants to like take the opposite direction, there's always like a reduction in the impulse of the buyers, and then you start seeing sellers taking over. So like it or not, a trade is possible here when you start seeing this break of structure to the downside. You can see how it creates a resistance, then break it to the downside. All right, at this point, you can actually, if you were paying attention, you can actually look for a sell here when you see that second break of that same structure, and um, agree to it or not, you could have easily gotten yourself like a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 3 trade here, as you can see. Look, a 1 to 3 would have been very possible here, even though it looks very, very unimaginable. You can also see this one too. There's a break of structure, a retracement, and you could have used that to cash yourself a trade. It's the same thing that we are trying here, regardless, because if the market is going to continue in this impulsive selling order, there are two things you need to consider right now. Is the fact that today is Monday, whatever it is that the market was doing last week and the strength reduced, if it wanted to continue in that same direction, then of course, if you start seeing the presence of sellers in the market, that indicates that there might be waking up and getting back into business. So I don't think whatever the market was doing last week, whatever was pushing the market to the downside, I don't think it is over yet. It happened on Monday. That was the fundamental part of it. And if you guys have been paying attention to crypto for a while now, you all know that after the fundamentals happen, fundamentals, I mean news, if news hits BTC, or let's say somebody like Elon Musk have a tweet on the first day, you will see the impulsive move. And then the sentiment enters. Like I've always said, that when it comes to crypto, you don't just trade it based on technical analysis or anything like that. You also need to consider the sentiment. The first wave of action is always based on some kind of fundamental activity. Maybe somebody like Trump will do something, or a very influential person making a tweet or something like that. Then you see the first wave of the market movement. And then what happened is that since people see crypto as an investment kind of deal, it's not a store of value, they quickly start pulling their money because of us uncertainty, right? Like they wake up, they're like, okay, okay, I can still close at this point. I bought at 110, it was at 120, now it's coming back to 115. I still have the opportunity to close. They'll sell their assets, and that is going to cause a lot of ripple effect where you start seeing a lot of even more down sales, because a lot of people are going to start selling, panic selling or something like that. So those are the two type of things that happen to crypto. We have seen it happen a lot of time before. The two movements that you often see all the times that you see a big drop or a big buy in crypto, it's always the first one that happened based on the news, and then the sentimental one. So I don't think it is done yet, and that is why I'm still interested in sales. So whatever it is that made the market did this very wicked drop that we all witnessed last weekend, I think it is just the beginning. And today is, or today or this week is going to be the week where people are trying to decide, is the market going to recover or is it going to continue going? And I know for a fact that a lot of people are going to just want to liquidate at this point. They'll call it a retracement, and then they'll want to liquidate their asset at this point. Just that way they can call it break even, or they don't get to lose too much. So when that start happening, I don't know if it is happening or if it's going to start happening now. But when that start happening, I expect to see more drop in crypto. We're probably going to see like 95K today, because if that set in, it's definitely going to drive the market on the 100K, or maybe on the 105K. 100K might maintain stability because we don't want to see crypto going below 100K anymore, right? Just like it did before, it came down to almost 102, 103K, and then it bounced back. So if there is going to be a sentimental push today, there is a possibility that we might see Bitcoin at around 100K or maybe even lower, depending on the strength or depending on how much more these people doubles down. We all know that Elon Musk is not yet done. China is yet to pick up the call. As a matter of fact, there was a news that I saw in the weekend that Elon Musk actually, I say Elon Musk, Donald Trump actually called China and they rejected his call. So those guys are going band for band, aura for aura this time. So if that is going to continue, and we all already know who Trump is, he's just going to double down on the tariffs and everything. So if they do not pick his call, he's going to impose more tariffs, and with more tariffs, you're going to see more of this type of movement in the first market. So, having all that said, I think if I see a sign that shows that the market might be wanting to go down, it's worth the risks for me, because that is what and where all the signs are pointing to. All the signs are pointing to me that there might be more sales. And that's why I'm looking for sales. All right. Forget about your technical analysis. The SL this small, abi, for you, or it's too big. Razi, I think this one is still very manageable. The reason for the SL being this tight is simple. All right. First of all, before you enter a trade, yeah, and this is one thing that most of us have been doing wrong. Before you enter a trade, you ask yourself, what is the reason? What convinced you that you should take a trade here? For me, it is because of this little sign that the market might start selling. And this is kind of like the candle that gave me that interest in the trade. Now, if this is getting violated, it means that I was wrong, and there's no point having an SL there's no point having an SL like this at this point, or looking to, guide something that is imaginary. If there is something that I felt should be the SL, it should be inside the consideration of this trade to start with, right? So if this is the reason why I am interested in a sell, my SL goes like a few pips, maybe 2 or 3 pips above there, because violating that level just proved to me that the market, or I got the wrong trade. So I can easily take a trade like that with a very tight SL like that. All right, because this trade is based on confirmation. This is not a mitigation trade. The confirmation is this little reaction that you are seeing here. It gets violated, case closed. I am not supposed to be in the trade. I keep looking for another opportunity. And that's the reason why I advise that you go in with a low risk, because like we have said, it looks like on this current market trend, market is pulling up, and we are trying to see if we can, if this is like the continuation of the major trend, which is like the market going down, right? So this is the only confirmation I have here. It is not based on any of this one or anything to the past. All right. So that's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it. If it goes above this level, the trade is not valid anymore. I should not be in the trade. I will just count my L, and that is it. All right. There are other cases where it is a mitigation trade, where you feel like the market is coming back to. Let's say you are trading based on this one. So let's say you have a boss around here, all right, and this is the reason why you are taking the trade. For that one too, you're going to be taking a trade like, let's say, something like this, and then your stop loss should also go above that reason for your trade. If this is the reason for your trade, this is what make you want to take a sell here. If I take a trade here, my stop loss is going to be above that level, because anything that makes the market goes above it, it tells me that my idea for that trade is wrong, and I should just take my loss and move on. All right. So that is the explanation for why my stop loss is there. All right. I'm not taking this trade based on this one. No, I'm taking this trade based on this one. So if this one cuts out, I'll wait for a better confirmation. I'll engage again. All right. That's the way I look at it. Okay. So there's a little pull below this level now. Let's see. Let's see if there is going to be a pull up and then a rejection after. I'll be looking at this level for volatility index 75 1S. There's a pullback to this level. I'll be engaging in a sell. So for this one, um, this reaction is based on this level, all right, from here to here. And I see that there is a possibility that the market might actually, use this one as liquidity here. You guys know that it is pulling out from a break, all right? So there's a break of the structure to the downside, and the market is pulling back. So this could also be used as liquidity, all right? This could also be attracted to it as liquidity. I don't know that. So having a stop loss based on this level might be too tight, so you might decide to hold a stop loss for this one. Also, for the fact that this is the lower time frame, and if I have the stop loss on the 15-minute time frame, it's not going to look too big. All right, so even the target for this one is already like a 1 to 2 at this level, which is kind of okay. So if I'm going to be taking a trade here, I'm going to have my stop loss above this level. Overall target, for me, I feel like this is a new direction that the market might be taking. So if I am right, then we can target as much as this level, this liquidity, this internal liquidity that is sitting here for like a 1 to 5. But first target is going to definitely be a 1 to 2. So let me mark that out and also send it to the channel. So I'll be sending this to the Telegram group now, and also the Twitter. This for volatility index 75 1S. It's also posted on the Twitter page. I think I forgot to post the Bitcoin one, so I'll do that now. Okay, let me go back to the comment section now. Oh, it's already 8 o'clock. Yeah, I have a Telegram channel. The link is on my bio, but many people complain that it's not clickable. So you can go to my YouTube page. All right, you can click the YouTube page, a link there. All right, and go to the YouTube page. Under my YouTube profile, you see my Telegram channel. If that is too much for you, you can actually send me a DM, and I'll send you the Telegram link directly. Okay. Do I? So my limit for volatility in the 75 is also set. Um, as usual, is the first trades of the week. I would encourage everyone of you to start your risks very lightly. All right, even if you are planning to be risking like 1% at the end of the day. For me, if it is the beginning of the week, I'll try to reduce that by half, maybe risking 0.5%. The reason for that is you don't want a situation where, let's say, you run into a streak of reds, um, your psychology becomes messed up. All right. So if you are risking very little, it is hard for your psyche to be affected from the beginning. All right. That's the way I see it. So risk what you can afford to lose. It doesn't matter if you are going to be making very little in the case of when the trade becomes profitable. Profit is profit at the end of the day, and you guys will always notice that no matter how mad you are that you did not make as much profit as you should make, you are still happy at the end. All right, so it's always better like that. So if I was supposed to be risking, let's say, $100, if that's the plan, I might, at the start of the week, I might start with something like $20 to $25 per trade. Yeah, I start with $20 to $25 per trade. The reason why I would do that is because I don't want a situation where, like I've said, I run into some streak of reds at the beginning of the week, and then you go into the psychological warfare of trying to recover. We all know how that thing is. So that's a way to help yourself out. in my opinion. Okay, that's a way to help yourself out. So Bitcoin currently in a drawdown. Gold has not given us that sign. As you can see, it is still maintaining is uptrend, so there's nothing you can do about it, and is yet to get back to a position where we will be looking for a sell. So there's nothing to do on gold yet. Just chillax. The market is still opening. I feel like before I start seeing or making any good decision on the gold market today should be after equity open, and that should be like around 2:30. Yeah, 2:30 Nigerian time if you're a Nigerian. So there is no need to rush or start expecting anything too early. But it's always good to have like a projection of what you are looking for, right? I'm not in a trade on gold though. I am not in a trade. This is just a projection. See another one of them. This one is so happy already. Never even look at the trade or the reason behind the trade. I sell all the way. But for you, Domsy FX. I actually saw your message. Oh, I don't even know that. What is it called? TikTok does filter things like that. Even TikTok no say not trash. They don't filter 'em. You know, say not trash. Don't filter 'em. You it's a Monday morning. The career station. Career station. This is still generating liquidity. It's yet to get back into the entry. Yet to get back into the entry. Bitcoin is still playing around. Still very early, anyways. Euro USD. What's up with Euro USD? Okay, so like I've said before, for Euro USD and GDP USD, all these formations that you are seeing from here to here happened before the market closed last week. All right. So if you should not be looking at any of this and start saying there is a change of character, a break of structure, all those technical analysis jargons that we usually say, right? This week or today is Monday, this market actually closed. Unlike the crypto market that during the weekend it was still open. All right, the price movement, you see everything that was happening, going up and down, all that. this one, the forex market or the FX market, actually closed. All right, which means that any information that you saw pre market close last week, you should not be basing your decisions or your trading decisions on it. You need to, if you're a price action trader like me, though, like if you're a price action trader like me, you need to wait for the market to actually, do something that will make you believe that the market is about to go in one direction. And one way that I personally use is to see the market clear liquidity on one side and break structure to the other side. All right. So, for instance, I would like to see that this high and this low is first of all violated. All right. And how do I see that? If I see the market go, let's say it does something like this, and then I see a break of structure above that high, then I start looking for a buy from within this zone. That is how I will approach the market because today is Monday. That's the only way I will know that this is the direction the market wants to go. All right. It takes liquidity on one side. It start moving on the other direction. I just look for my entry around this level. All right. If at the, like, let's say it does the same thing on the opposite side. So take liquidity on the other side, let's say mitigate something around here, and then break structure to the opposite side. I start looking for sales. All right. That is just to prove to me that the market have made a choice of where it wants to go. It has taken its liquidity and then it is heading in one direction, in a visible direction. So that is my approach for today. One of these two things have to happen on a reasonable time frame. It's not going to be on the 1 minute time frame for sure. It has to be on like 5 minutes and above. All right. So I want to see a break of structure to one side or a clear of liquidity to the other side um, before I start looking for a trade. And someone might be wondering, is this enough clear of liquidity? No, for me, it not. It's still stuck within the range of last week. All right, and the range of last week is going to really like hold a lot of liquidity that is attractive to the market, right? So I'll rather wait for it to break out of the bigger picture or clear liquidity in the bigger picture before I'm interested in a trade. So that would be my approach for this week. But that is just like for entries, right? We also need to do like a top down analysis, but I don't think I need to do a top down analysis anymore. I've already done that before, and you can see that my chart is actually well labeled. The things that I've been expecting and the places that I've been expecting them from. Last week I took a loss on Euro USD. It was a successful trade for many of the people in the chat, but my spread, or should I say my stop loss, took me out on my own broker. Some people in my group actually took a win on this trade for like a 1 to 2 or something. But if you guys remember last week, this was a trade we took on Euro USD. My stop loss was somewhere around here and it wicked me out precisely and then turned back to go like a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 3 in my favor. And that's the last trade I took on Euro USD. Uh, Apart from that, there is also this crazy one here that I don't know what happened there, but it only shows that there was some manipulation on this particular broker, and many people definitely were liquidated on this particular move here. I was not on a trade, I was not looking for a trade, so yeah, I was not part of any of that. So it is what it is, right? Now, for me today, I am still going to continue with my analysis and my top down analysis of last week, which is what I've been following. And I don't need to really go and confuse myself with, other block here, other block there, and all that. So I'll just be paying attention to whatever the market does today. All right. And that is why I limit it to what I just said. Clear liquidity to one side, pick a direction, and then I follow. That's basically what I am interested in doing for Euro USD. Okay. So the Bitcoin trade might be a bad one. It is really approaching like the midway of my SL right now, but it's still very valid. So I'm going to keep holding it. Regardless, valid or not, I'm not going to be adjusting or doing anything to the stop loss, anyways. Unless I'm in profit, I can adjust it to break even. But this one is already a trade, and I am already inside. So, no Lily. Gold, on the other hand, I see that it might be doing that thing that we expect it to do, where I want to see a second failure on the buying strength. I can already see weakness in the buying pressure. All right. I can see weakness in the buying pressure. And if you are here from the start, or should I say, for the purpose of those who are not here from the start, we have already checked the 4 hour and the daily time frame. And if you look at the daily time frame, the market opened about 11 hours ago for today. All right. And you can see that based on the average price movement, or based on the pip count, the average pip count for a candle on the daily time frame, it has already made a significant move in today's daily time frame range. So the average price movement for a candle on a daily time frame, from what I have seen so far, is 50 to 100 pips. And if you measure from the beginning of this candle to the end, or where it has gotten to, we are already at 70 pips. So the price movement for today on gold has already done the average one. And one thing that you need to pay attention to is anytime you see something like that happen, there is a high chance that the rest of the day the market is going to be consolidating within that zone. Like it's going to be consolidating within that average price movement. The market is not as if the market is going to stay stagnant, but within the 70 pip, the market can be going up and down, and you think that the market is moving. All right. Oh shit. Sorry. My bad. I went to the daily time frame. Let me explain. Let me explain again. All right. So I went to the daily time frame, so it shifted to the side. All right. So let me explain again. All right. If you look at all the candles that you have been seeing from time immemorial, you notice that if you measure the biggest one, all right, if you measure the biggest one, the average price movement, that is for a very good day, is around 50 to 100 pips. You can see this one, 70 pips, right? That's a very big pronounced one. On the sell also, if I take a very reasonable candle, so because I want to assume that every day is going to be a very reasonable day, right? That is the assumption, or should I say that is the mindset of all of us when we come into the market. And this daily candle, right? You can see this one also, a very pronounced candle here. I measured it and it is 61 pips. All right. Now, within this 51 pips, there's going to be a lot of up and down during the day, maybe on the 5 minute time frame, on the 15 minute time frame. You'll be seeing it as the market is moving, but the average price movement that I've always seen is like from 50 to 100 pips, like I've said. You can see this very big one also, 77 pips. So now, in all these candles that you have been seeing, I can say that this tree stands out. One, two, all right? And even them also, like this big one that you are seeing, that's for a very good day. This big one that you are seeing also did 74, all right? This one did uh 83. So, and this is like the biggest one so far in about 2 months. 83 pips. That's the entire price movement for the day. All right. Now, during this 80 pip, 86 pips, there could be a lot of up and downs. All right. There could be a lot of up and downs in between, but it doesn't mean, like, what I mean is the average price movement that you expect, or the average height of a candle that you expect, is around 50 to 80 50 to 100 pips on the day. And if you pay attention closely, you see that this particular daily candle opened around 11 hours ago, and already it has done a price movement of 70 pips, or actually 72 pips in one direction. 72 pips in one direction. So if it is going to be one of these days, unless you are expecting to see like a 200 pips price movement, which is something that has not happened in a whole month so far. As a matter of fact, this year you have not seen a candle that looks this bullish. All right, I know that is what everybody is expecting, or that is why everybody is praying. You enter a buy, you expect to see a very big move. But I kid you not, if there is going to be any good buy in this particular on today's candle, is going to still be within this 80, or sorry, 50 to 100 pips price movement. So that said, if I'm trading on the 15-minute time frame and I am at the top of today's presumably highest point, I am at the top for now, then I feel like if there is going to be a buy at the end of the day, the market will first need to do a retracement to make you think that it is going down. And then if today's candle is going to close bullish, you might see a buy from this level, maybe ending at around that 75 to 80 pips to complete the day. That is all I expect from today's candle. All right, and there is 14, or should I say 13 plus hours left in today's daily candle. If you have all that information in mind, you know that this market, the worst it can do right now is maybe do a bigger push to go and take this one as liquidity, all right, and then give you that same sign that you're looking for, then pull back maybe within 2 or 3 hours, and then do a continuation to go and close bullish. It's either that, or maybe this is the end of today's candle height. And how do you notice that? If you start seeing weakness and you start seeing break construction to the downside, that's to tell you that the market might be doing a retracement so that it can pull back to end today as a blue candle or whatever it wants to do. All right. But already I can tell that I don't expect a much more like a big move to the upside anymore. The market has already done the average price movement of today. All right. That is what I'm trying to explain based on the daily candle. Having that in mind right now, if I start seeing a sign that sellers are taking control, I will be interested in taking a trade. If I start seeing a sign that sellers are taking control, I'll be interested in taking a sell. One thing that I will know for sure is that I don't expect a big move. And if my stop loss is going to be too big, like for example, if I take a sell based on any sign that the market gives me here, I believe that my stop loss is going to be above that sign, right? That's confirmation for the entry. My stop loss is going to be above it. Now, if I have an entry around here and my stop loss is around here, and the nearest zone that I expect the market to push back from is not up to a 1 to 2, I will completely avoid that trade, because in terms of RR, it does not make any sense. If it's going to be a 1 to 1, it is not worth the risk for me. All right. So I will avoid the trade. But if I see a sign for a sell and the closest RR is more than 1 to 2, then I can go ahead with it and just, take the risk and hope that maybe I am even lucky, and then I take a very good sell and I manage to even get like a 1 to 5. But the target should be like a 1 to 1. Sorry, a 1 to 2. All right, for me, for the trade to make sense. And so far so good. You can see that waiting for confirmation is like the best thing that you want to do. I had this view here, but I've not making any, attempt to take any sell because it doesn't look convincing yet. But what will make it look convincing is when I see it going below this level again, and that's why you see this drawing right here, uh, waiting for the market to do whatever it is that it wants to do. All right. I hope that is clear, though. I uh, try to explain it as much as I can, but I know it might be a little bit difficult to get. So Bitcoin is either it is going for this internal liquidity there, or we are just wrong, and might hit SL, or it's something that we're already prepared for. So I am not worried about that at all. But the trade is still very, very valid, and I am sticking with it. So if this is the first time you're seeing this is VFX Trades. My name is Sales, or should I say you can call me Sales. My name is Vincent, and I come live to trade every day. I trade my own accounts live. I also try to give myself challenges where I try to pass a funded account. I also manage accounts for people. So you'll be seeing me trading it live here every day. I'm not perfect. I take losses and I am okay with it. So don't worry. Don't remind me that I'm going to lose a trade or anything. Yes, any trade that you see me taking, I'm already ready to take that loss. So I don't need you to tell me whether I'm bad or I'm taking the wrong trade. I have a reason why I'm taking the trade. And I also understand that your reason for taking a trade is not always going to be correct. There is nobody that is perfect in the trading industry. And as a matter of fact, taking a losing trade or some losing trade or a streak of losing trade is completely okay. If you have really experienced what we call trading, you will know that is true. New traders or amateur traders will definitely tell you where you are doing it wrong, and that is fine. That is okay. I don't blame them, but I just feel like the experience level is different and they are yet to realize that the truth about trading is you get to lose most of the time. And all they are trying to do here is to see if your winning will be enough to cover and give you some profits on your losses. And also, by experience, you can also be able to reduce your losses as time goes on. All right. So, first, you hope that your winning is enough to cover your losses and give you some profit. And then, by experience, you can start filtering the bad trades that you normally take. All right. You start observing when you take losses, and when you see a trade like that, you avoid them. That way, your win rate can even increase more than it used to be. And with your win rate increasing with time, you get to start seeing consistency and the profit can start getting in. That's all we are all trying to do as traders. But many people, they forget about that. They want to always be winning a trade, right? They want to always, any trade that they take, they feel like it must be a winning trade. And that's where I have a problem with a lot of people who just say trade and instantly they're like, you are going to lose. Yes, 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 yes. I know I'm going to lose. As a matter of fact, I want to lose. I'm just kidding. I don't want to lose. But losing is fine. So gold still pushing very, very bullish. GU, I'm yet to be convinced. It did not take the liquidity to the upside before coming down. So there is a high chance that it's using this low as liquidity to go up. So I'm not convinced that this is a break of structure to the downside. There will be no attempt to take a sell at this level. No, there will be no attempt to take a sell. I am still going to observe. Maybe during the New York section, London section would have printed a direction for me. Then I would be interested in GU and EU. Anything for space right now, I want to wait for them to do what they want to do, pick a direction, and then we can both travel together. But for now, I can't be the first, you know, person in that bus. No. 8:45 a.m. Maybe. So it seems like Bitcoin is recovering now, but again, as you can see, that's a new 15-minute candle that just opened, and for it pulling back so quickly, I'm not convinced that that should be anything that will make you happy. I feel like it might be creating a wick to the downside and then to continue upwards. So if I see something like this, especially when there is no wick behind it, it doesn't give me confidence. I don't easily get excited when I see a candle like that. But you never know. It might just be also to show that there is a lot of impulse and a lot of selling pressure, just like we saw here. You can see that this candle did not have a wick to the backside, but then it ended up pushing the market to the downside. So it's not every time that I expect to see a week, but a week gives me like some level of confidence when I see a candle printing in my direction. So we'll get to see what the market does. But this trade is still, in my opinion, very, very valid. Looking at the 30-minute time frame, you can also see that that is it. All right. It is trying to engulf the previous one now. Let's see if it will do that. But on the 30-minute time frame, there is a week, so that's a good thing. All right, compared to the 15-minute time frame when there is no week. All right. So, but right now the trade is back in some little profit. Let's see if that is going to be sustained. To try. Mm, I don't know what to do. Hey, fuck. Seems like I completely forgot about my volatility index. Did it trigger me in? Let me check. For the volatility index, it's yet to trigger me in. I'm still waiting for that trade there. I have a limit set, and as you guys can see, you might see that there is no stop loss there. That's because the amount in the account is the amount I want to risk. All right. So there's no stop loss there. I don't use stop loss for volatility, but I often cover what I want to risk. All right. So it is yet to trigger. We'll see when it does that. But for the BTC trade, back in slightly a little profit. Nothing to be too happy about yet, but at least it is recovering. So that's a good one. Looking on the 5 minute time frame just to get like a good view of what is happening, we can see some level of aggression get in back in the market. So that's a good one. And I may the reason why I was stuck in a drawdown for long might be because I entered very early. I am not complaining about that. Sometimes you take the last liquidity and the market does not tag you in. So the way I trade now, I feel like I enter in a way that regardless of when I am in a drawdown, I'm not really bothered because I know the possibility of what the market might do. Before, I would probably be waiting for an entry at this level because of liquidity and all that. But I tend to miss a lot of trades, a lot of good trades when I was doing that. So these days, I just enter at a reasonable level. And even if I am stuck in a drawdown, I just remind myself that maybe today it was going for the liquidity, but overall, I am still in the trade and the trade is still valid. So there is no reason why I should, like shaking out or run out of the trade and all that. And that's why anytime you see me in a trade, I'm not really bothered. I'm checking other things. And yeah, you need that level of you know you need to get yourself to that level of thinking before you can actually be okay with holding trades. Because if you are listening to what everybody was saying before, you probably would already have me close this trade a long time ago. I mean, it's going against you, so why are you holding the trade? And that is the mindset of most people who are trading. Yeah. uh, when the trade goes slightly against them, they forget the reason why they are entering the trade to begin with. They're like, it's not possible. Like, I'm wrong. They judge their trades way too early before the trade actually plays out. That's what most of us are suffering from right now. Like, you have a trade, it's a good trade, but before it actually even materialized, you would have made the mistake of closing, opening a new one, closing, opening a new one, and before you know it, you have taken four losses for one trade. And if you now look back in time and you check that same trade, your original first trade, if you would have just held on to it and just closed your phone and just dropped your phone and go about your day, you would have made you profit. Your first trade, your first idea that you got about that particular trade that you wanted to take, if you have just stuck to it, in most cases you'll still be in profit. But human behavior, psychology behavior and all that, you take a trade because it's not going in your favor, boom, you close it. And what that makes you do is you try to give yourself a different reason, because it is only a different reason that would have made you close a trade that you made an analysis on. Now you are taking a trade against your original trade. You lose that one, then you take a trade again in your original trade, and before you know it, you probably would have taken more trades than you are okay with. Then you close the chart, only to come back like 2 hours later, and then you see that your original first trade actually worked out perfectly if you'd have just let it be. All right. And I know a lot of you, and I know a lot of you would have experienced this already, but you just haven't thought about it, how many times it have happened to you. But me personally, I have experienced that a lot. So these days, I will just make sure I study all the reasons why I'm taking a trade, and also all the reasons why the trade could do whatever it wants to do, and why I should have a reason to remind myself as to why I took the trade in the beginning. That way, I just keep telling myself, okay, the trade is not yet invalid, so why am I doing something else? I should only be doing something else if my original thought becomes invalidated, or becomes invalid, right? So, yep, like seriously, boss, that thing don't happen to me this morning. You see, and I know a lot of you agree to it. Like it happens to all of us, every one of us, every one of us, every time. Me in particular, that's my major problem. My major problem. I take a trade, uh, because it's not going in my favor as quick as it should. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm wrong. I close the trade, and sometimes I even convince myself to trade against my first original idea. Now, it's not like you are not seeing something, but you're just confusing yourself at the end of the day. You saw the right thing to do, you did it, but then you start misjudging and letting other too much of information mess with you and all that. Mm. Don't do that. If you used to do it, it's a disaster. It's a recipe for disaster. Is it? Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Actually, Okay, where did I stop? All right, so we are doing a pullback, exactly like I said. I would not like if this 15 minutes flips bullish. All right, I hate if it flips bullish because that will not give me that confidence that I like. But it is closing in 3 minutes, so I don't think it's going to flip bullish. And if it doesn't flip bullish, that would be nice. That would be nice because that tells me that there is weakness now on the buyer side, and maybe the sellers are about to enter or whatever. But yeah, I would like to see it like stay bearish, all right, and not flip bullish. Okay, gold. Um, Gold is still stuck around that zone, as you can see, it's still stuck around that zone, still doing this thing around there. It's this consolidation upward just shows me that there's really some weakness in the sellers sorry in the buyer side. This consolidation upward here, you go to the 5 minute time frame now, you see that it is just up and down, up and down, up and down till this level. So it just shows me that there's weakness in the buyer's strength, and there's a high chance that that idea of the daily time frame candle or the daily time frame range being almost at peak might be taking over. But seeing that there is this double top being formed here, you guys can see this double top being formed. There is a very, 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 very high chance that the market is going to use that as liquidity. It might do something like this. All right, do something like this, then use that as liquidity to complete that daily range before even giving us the sign to look for shots. There's a possibility that is going to happen. All right. So let's see. But seeing that there is this double top, even if I see a strong candle to the downside now, I will not be interested in entering any sales because that is a magnet for um, liquidity. That's a liquidity magnet up there. So definitely having that in mind. That in mind. Inducement, right? Yep, 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 yep. Exactly. Exactly. You got that right. A magnet to liquidity. I wish I can make this thing thinner, but I can't. This is the smallest it can be. There should be another one. Why is it so bold? There should be another one. Liquidity, there should be another one. What can we use to represent liquidity? That one is too bold. It's too bold. But anyways, let's just take it out. What's up? I see you. Yeah, you know. I finally get where to place these lights. That's good, yeah. At least that big thing. Let's stand here and make everywhere look big. Look at that.
Which thing?
The other tripod stand where did they back?
Okay, where is it?
They inside that store.
Okay, for this light.
I did slide there on top of before. This one at the back of the TV.
This one has a stand.
Yes.
Where is stand?
It's inside. It's
The
okay.
tutu stand.
See the second step.
Okay, this light did not come with stand.
This one
No,
not
this one
constant.
comes stand, but you
One
can
of them
use.
not constant. Like this is okay. This one, since it's in my front now, yeah. I feel easily see that.
You that you are talking, you not see.
And once now this thing to happen to me. That one where they call it be 1 minute. One 9 o'clock. Monday. Bitcoin. So that candlestick did not close bullish, but it closed like a hammer or a hanging man. I've heard it they call those this thing. It's still good. It's still good. It shows weakness in the buying strength, but at the same time, it is. I won't say it's undecisional, but if you see a red candle after such a candle, it gives you a lot of hope. All right, for the downside. So this is something that we might expect right now. You can see that hanging man there, and then there's a another red candle. All right, but that is the problem. It's not often the best confirmation for sellers if you are looking for a selling pressure in the market. It shows weakness in the seller side too. But it all depends. If this candle right now print out something very aggressive, that's to tell you that yeah, the sellers are still very active and you have a good trade. This one should trigger. This one should trigger in a bit, I believe. Yep. Liquidity points for this one. Uh, Premium liquidity points is going to be here. So if you're a liquidity type of person, you can actually set your own entry at this level. But then be ready that the market might actually not get there and you might miss out. So for me these days, I would just set it at the OB or the support level and make sure my stop loss is enough to cover for everything. For now, my stop loss is right here, but I gave it out at there. So let's see if this one gets triggered. That would be the first trade for synthetic for today. It's moving on a very slow path, but we'll see how it goes. Gold is not ready. Gold is just inducing people out, just like we have been saying. It's just inducing people, it's making people want to sell, and then it will take them out as liquidity. And that is why paying attention to your price action before taking a trade is very important. All right, very, very important. Because let's say you are looking for a sell at this level, you just enter based on this first inducement. At this point, you're already either doubling down on your position because your pride will not let you close the position, or you are looking for more reasons to enter or extend your stop loss. Right? Yeah, looking for more reasons why you should extend your stop loss beyond this level. Why like you are even seeing this double top as liquidity, you are giving it room and things like that. So yeah, that's the problem. And that's the reason why you need to wait for a very good confirmation, a confirmation with a story before attempting to take any trades like that. Still getting close. Still getting close. Not yet at the entry, but almost there. Gold is not ready. Bitcoin still playing around our entry. It's yet to decide who is going to win the fight. I don't like this level of sluggishness though, but the trade is still very much valid. So I'm going to be holding. I'm going to keep holding to see how the market reacts at the end of the day. What do you think of GBPJPY boss? Is it safe for a sell? Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. All right. So first of all, let me delete this. I believe the market opened around here. So from here, right? I believe the market opened from here. So last week range will be the last reaction last week before the market close will be here, and the lowest point will be this one. All right. So for me to make a decision for this week, since anything can happen in this week, to make a decision, I would like to see liquidity clearance into one, or above or below one, and then a change of character to the other side. Now, there are two ways that you might make an entry. There is a liquidity clearance right now, as you can see. There's a liquidity clearance, and it's kind of like giving you a sign for a sell. All right. Now, if I decide to take a trade here, let's say I'm taking this trade with respect to this break of structure. I see that it has cleared liquidity. So if it gives me a sign for a sell, it might be good. All right. So now, if I'm taking a trade with respect to this candle, my stop loss will be above this area. Is it worth it? It's actually worth it for me because one, it has a meaning to it. Like if the market was aiming for liquidity clearance, then what it would do next is to clear this liquidity into a reasonable um tradable zone, which is what it has done. It has not broken the structure to the upside. I don't think it plans on breaking the structure to the upside yet. If it is based on last week liquidity or the last liquidity, then it has done that, and then it makes this trade valid either way, because if a break of structure is what he's going to look for, somewhere around here would have given him like a 1 to 2. All right. And even though it is planning to come and take liquidity to the downside here, so far it has gone above this level, it makes sense because then my trade would have given me like a 1 to 3. So yeah, if you are looking to enter for a sell here, I would not stop you from it. I think it has a lot of story or a lot of reason why it might, be a profitable trade at the end of the day. So is it worth the risks for me? Yes, it is worth the risk. I will take the trade, and if it goes above this level, it is fine. All I will just wait for it to do is to take that one loss, and then I'll take this area as my entry for a buy. All right. So yeah, definitely go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I might even join you. Like, it looks good, but the issue is I'll have to hold a bigger one. So I might even join you on the trade. But I'll give it, like, I'll just wait for it to do what it wants to do yet, since I'm already in a trade and the trade is still at BE. Let me not overload my account for today. You're welcome, bro. So I don't know if this thing triggered. Let me check. Mine did not trigger. It came very close to it. Came very close to it, as you can see there, but it is yet to trigger for me. So, but that GJ actually looks very, very interesting, bro. I won't lie. That trade looks very interesting, to be honest. I think I'm thinking of making an entry. Let me look on the lower time frame. Let me see. Let me give myself a reason to take the trade. I'll actually wait. I'll just wait for like London section to see. I think we're in London section now, but I'll wait. I'll give it. I'll wait. I'll wait for it a bit. I'll wait for it a bit. But depending on how well it's doing, I'll join you with the trade. The trade looks good because the market has been going down so far, and there is a lot of gap too. I think GJ and UJ was one of those pairs that last week, that did that big move to the upside. You see, there's a lot of gap here to come and fill. There's a lot of gap here to come and fill. This aggressive move that happened last week. There's a lot of gap down here to come and fill. So there's a long way to go to the downside for real, if you ask me. There's a lot of things here to come and target. So the trade looks very clean. The BTC trade, on the other hand, is not really looking good. But yeah, trade still valid, so I'll keep holding. So this is another 15-minute candle close. It is closing right now, 44 seconds to go, and it looks bearish. So looking at the 30-minute candle close, that one still have like 15 minutes to go. So if it's going to continue in the direction of this one, it means it's going to push down to this level on this candle close. Make I join you for this GJ trade. It's worth the risk for me. I'm going to be risking a little bit, a very little percentage, because I kind of like how it is forming. If it doesn't work out, it's fine. So yeah, on my account here, I'll be risking 0.6 lot size. Taking a sell on GJ. Stop loss is right up there for $20. Alright, so this is what I did. My stop loss is all the way here. My stop loss is all the way here. My entry is around here on the close of that 15-minute candle. And for now, since the stop loss is very wide, I'll be targeting a 1 to 2. But that is subject to correction later. No, no, not correction, adjustment later. Yeah. Uh, I'm sending it now to the Telegram channel. Give me a minute. I sent it to the Telegram channel already. Check the Telegram channel. Hmm. 203.3. Mine is 203.5. The TP is open for now. See? Mine is 203.5. This the 15-minute time frame. So check on your own. I want to cover the top there. I want to cover the top there. That's why I'm entering at that level. Guys, let's not forget to like. Thank you so much for all the likes that you have given so far. Um, but let's not forget to do more, okay? That way TikTok would not think that we are just, like overcrowding their server and take us down as usual. So who else is with me on this trades? I think Cloudy is only on GJ right now. I sabi you now. Now only GJ you the trade. But how about the BTC? What's Bitcoin doing? Are we still in drawdown? Still playing around. Still playing around. Still very valid. You don't want to rush it. Let it do what it wants to do. Gold, gold still playing around. No serious confirmations for anything yet. So we'll keep observing. We'll keep observing. So I am on BTC and I'm also on GG. Focus me on the body. Thank you so much, Pinky. Thank you so much, Cloudy. Oh, 15 people already. When I done the wake up finally, Abby. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to a new week. And I hope you have been able to get over your losses of last week. And I hope that you have done your assessment of last week to see what you need to change, what you need to improve on, what you need to double down on, and what you need to let go of. I hope you have done all those assignments and assessments of yourself. Very important because if you don't do that, you are just going to repeat the same mistake you repeated last week. Look through your trades, you will know. You will know. You will see the things that you're not supposed to do. I have looked through mine and I know the things that I'm supposed to avoid moving forward. I just pray that I'm able to avoid those things as I want to. All right. Because we all have something that we want to do. We all have that changes that we want to make, but then it's often very, very hard. But the more you look back and you try to correct them, the more your body makes it become like a second nature of something that you really have to do. So I'm just going to try, but I hope that you have done your own assessment of yourself and you have seen the things that you need to work on. Very important. Hey, they beat me. Hey, look me like that now.
You have seen.
I've seen. It's I do. Come on here.
Mm-mm.
You shall see your face. They this camera.
Where they?
Where you did? Check YouTube now. See
Oh, no. How many people did they?
YouTube. Only one person.
Mm-hmm.
But they recorded, so people will see. So
Na una sabi o.
they don't finish your head.
This one. No, yeah. So
I
crazy.
think you see me. You do something. Make I do video for you. You the dot.
I say make I do them when I don't want to be doing them.
You want make the plenty smaller.
Yes. And I'll just do it.
So this thing left me behind though. What the hell? Can you imagine? Please
See,
left me behind.
see.
And I'm see with this.
Mm.
Ah,
I laugh in time say.
it's fine though.
Even,
Yeah,
even me when I wear it, I like it. I didn't know it would come out this nice.
it's actually very nice.
Mm.
And this one is not as hard as the other one. Yeah.
Mm.
Now, how do I get back on this trade? It seems like it has left me behind. Or is it going to come back for me? Anyways, let me just let it be. Let it do whatever it wants to do for now. And this is exactly the type of issue that I used to face that made me start using the support level instead of the liquidity. You guys know how you have a trade, you know that this trade is valid from here, but sometimes you use liquidity and then you end up losing the trade. Yeah, that is what I considered, and then I just have to sacrifice a larger stop loss. That way, if I have a larger stop loss, I'll still get into the trade anyways, maybe with a lower lot size just to cover for my losses and all that. But and it has been helping very well so far. GG is doing very well.
I'm gonna start the next one.
How many remain?
Plenty.
Oh,
See, as I even be like this.
mm,
Eh?
mm.
Person want do 2 week like this.
Ah, aggressive entry.
The reason why I'm not
Aggressive
putting too
entry.
much pressure because Mopsy wants to include. So
It's not really aggressive. It's not really aggressive. Let me explain. Raw checks, all right? It's not really aggressive if you ask me. Because on a normal day, yeah, you would have set limits, all right? On a normal day, if not for the weekend thing, you would have set limits to this level, all right? You would have set limit to this level and you would have been expecting it to trigger. That is the one I would call aggressive. On this case, we actually waited for confirmation not one, not two. This one is a confirmation for me. This is a weak open, so I expect that it goes to clear liquidity to one end. And what is a better liquidity than this previous week high, which it has done? Sorry, previous week internal high, which it has done. So if it wants to continue in the direction of this week's movement, definitely it's going to break structure to the downside, right? And that is why I don't really see this as an aggressive entry. You know me, I would have waited for like a change of character, but in this case, all the body language points to the market clearing liquidity and going in your way. All right. So I don't think this is really an aggressive entry. I think this is even a safer entry than, the limit order, if you ask me. I think Bitcoin is also recovering. So for now, my two positions are looking like this. This is what it looks like on my account. All right. So the Bitcoin has recovered back to entry. Like I said, I am risking very, very little amount because these are the first trades of the week. I don't want to start my week with aggression, and if I am wrong and I run into like a losing streak, it's not a bad start of a week. You guys know how it is. So, have you heard of Tony Ike? Yeah, I know Tony Ike, and as a matter of fact, I think I am in his Telegram channel. What's up? What's up with Tony Ike? He's a very good trader. He's someone I respect a lot. We trade almost alike. It's just that he's more of a swing trader than I am. I like his trading. His trading is very consistent. Consistency is all I look for when it comes to a trader. It's not really the strategy. If you're someone who has self-control, which is something that I know I'm still working on my own end, then I respect you a lot. So if you have a strategy that has an edge and you add your psychology to it, you should already be a successful trader, and you can see it in his trading style. So it's not really about the strategy for me, it's about the management of the strategy. And Tony has been doing it very, very well. If not, he wouldn't have built that level of trust that you see in his community. He's someone I respect a lot. So yeah, strategy or not, he's a good trader, and I think he's doing great. That's the way I'll think about it. Not really whether a strategy pays me. Can I break his strategy for you? Okay, I'll just check his Telegram channel to see one of his entry and see if I can or let me even look at his Twitter page instead. So X. Come on, let's go. Why is network slow like this? Ah, still worry this one. Tony Ike. Tell me that in name for this thing, sir. Um, What's his handle on TikTok again? On sorry, on Twitter again. I thought I followed him. I know I followed him. All right. So if you look through some of his trade here, I don't even know. I think. Let me see. Let me see one of his trade analysis here. Um, if I go down. All right. So for example, I think this is a very good example. So if you look at this chart here, you see that he's also like a price action trader. All right, it's a price action trader, and it's like he's very very deep on order flow. So he's always going with order flow. You can see him taking a buy at this level where everybody will be expecting to take a sell. That's because he's mad on order flow, and you can see that even though this one is on the 5 minute, I've seen many of his trades that are like on 4 hours. So anybody that can hold trades for that long, and you can see from the results here that the guy is not here to play. So he's a price action trader for me. He might call it something else, but anybody who uses order flow and just continue in the line of in the direction of the market, for me, is a price action trader. And I don't know, he might call it SMC, but that's how I see it. That's how I see it. All right. So it is not much different from what we are doing, but I think he has perfected his own way of doing it. All right. It's paying for him. It's working for him. I know they hear you like your network or my own don't. I think it should be your network, bro. You dey hear me now? Ah shit. So this one, I think he left us behind. GJ, GJ still looking good. Check your network. If you feel hear me, then we'll continue. Go and work and stop trying to dissect people's strategy. Abby, work on your own. Look for a pattern. Look for a pattern you can relate with and stick to it. At the end of the day, it's not the strategy, it's the management of the strategy that is killing us.
Wetin they do?
Wetin I do?
Wetin they do?
Wetin I do? If you talk wetin I do.
Yeah.
Discover your own special rhythm with the market. Oh, na learning, bro. Maybe smart thing. I dey hear now. I hear you. Bitcoin, what is your problem? Are you going to go, or you're going to keep playing around? Stop playing around. Gold looks like it's doing that thing that we expect it to do. Nah, no, I'm not convinced yet. But yeah, it looks like it's learning. Let's see if we're going to. I think it's definitely going to take these guys out as liquidity. The double top there makes it look like a liquidity magnet for me. So definitely, and there is still like this is still like 70 pips move for the day. All right. So if I go to the daily again, if I go to the daily again, and let me actually draw some lines around the daily. I don't know why my system is a little bit laggy. So I have to be waiting for it to update before doing anything. Okay. So that's like the daily range. And if I measure it, you can see that it started from there and it got to this level, it's still around 70 pips. So there is still a chance for it to go like somewhere around 80, within 80, 90. Anything below 100 is still good. So there is still chance for it to come, take liquidity before doing any flip down. But I don't see gold going much more beyond this level. I don't see gold going much more beyond 100 pips for today's daily candle. It has not happened in months, so I don't see it happening in this month. I think he's going to be playing within this range now, and so if I see a grab of that liquidity on the 15-minute time frame, yeah, if I see a grab of this liquidity on the 15-minute time frame, then it's going to be more interesting to look for sales because I don't see gold going beyond 80 pips on a particular candle. All right. So, like I said, Cloudy, he's for me, I don't know what he calls uh, his trading strategy. He's just someone I know, I respect. I'm also in his group chat uh, on Telegram, and if you see what he does, it's like the same thing. It's like textbook of the same thing that we are doing, and maybe that's the reason why I actually followed him. Because if I see people trading like the way I'm trading, I respect them. Another thing that I noticed that he has that I don't have yet is holding his trades. All right. He's very, very good at that, which is why I said I respect him a lot. But if you notice, he's a price action trader. He trades exactly almost the same way that I trade. But I don't think like for him now, you can see this kind of stop loss that he's using here. It's something that I don't think I've ever done. All right. So I don't know how he's doing it, but I think that's the difference between my own and his own. In most cases I see an even tighter surplus. Crazy places like that. I don't know how he gets those ones, but yeah, I'm still working on my own. And I think mine, I'll have to cover the entire low and all that. So that's the only difference between my type of trading and his type of trading. I don't know what he calls it, but I see it as price action. If you're following order flow, then you're a price action trader for me. So yeah, that's what I think. That is what I think, bruv. Bitcoin, you are still confused. Let's go. GJ, GJ, thank you. That's what I like to see. It is sick knowledge they laugh. Why ain't gonna laugh now? So the target for this week on this account, there's something that I want to work like I want to do this week. Instead of randomly targeting something, the entire target for the 10K account, I think I'll be targeting just 500K. Sorry, 500 to, let's just say 500. I'll be targeting 500. All right, 500 to 1,000. But the first target or TP1 is going to be 500. That means if I make 100 daily on that account, I should be done by the end of the week. I should make 500. All right. And I noticed that all through last week, on every single trade that I'm taking, I was targeting way more than I needed to target. And I was, like over risking, over leveraging, even though it looks very normal, right? It looks very normal. You're risking 1% and all that. But if you look on the weekly time, like if you look like based on weekly, you have 5 days a week. So you can still divide it across, the whole week, you know, and take trades accordingly. So for example, I'm risking like $20 instead of when I'll be risking $50 right now. Or I'm risking $25 instead of when I'll be risking 50 to $100, right? In that case, if I make three trades today and I have two wins, I probably will be close to today's daily target, which should be like 100 out of the 500. Now, if I make more, it's fine. If I don't, I will not feel bad for taking a losing trade today because I have not done anything mad to my account. So that's what the goal for this week for me is, to see how I can, like, instead of going for the big runs, just do it based on the number of days and the number of opportunities I feel like I'm going to have for this week. And I feel I have 5 days of this week. If I trade and I make like 100 every day, I will still be very, very good. And that is what I'm going to be targeting, like on this account, on this 10K account. On the smaller account, the same thing, just lower. So that's what I'm trying to work on this week personally. All right. So how about you? What is the goal for this week? What are you thinking? What are you working on this week? What did you notice was the reason why your last week was bad? All right. Because for me, I think that is exactly the reason why my last week almost turned bad before I had that gold trade. Right, I started the week very well, did very, very well from the beginning. And then towards Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday, started, like messing up. Not really messing up. I took all the trades that I needed to take, but they were bad. And I looked back and I felt like, if I already made like 300, close to 400 during the beginning, why was I using the level of risk that I was using towards the end of the week? Like, why did I increase my risk significantly? Or why did I keep risking the same amount at the end of the week when I'm almost at my target? And it almost ruined the entire week by doing that. So that's the reason why I decided that this week the goal is going to be to see if I can correct that. And I don't know what you found that was bad from your last week, but I would like to know, what did you do an assessment of your last week trade? What did you find out? And what are you working on this week? Or is this just about making money as usual? Because if it is about making money as usual, problem deal. My problem long go. I want more knowledge. I want to be able to let go of trades that have left me. Okay. And fear. Okay. So yeah, those are like very, very good things that I think are worth looking into. So, for example, you said you want more knowledge. That's fine. Yes, that one, it needs no explanation. Everybody knows that one. I want to be able to let go of trades that have left me. Something like this. Something like what you are seeing right here. All right. So I made this analysis, and you can see one pip away, and I would be almost at like a 1 to 0.5 already. But as you can see, it is just going. All right. Now, the only way I'm able to do this now, that I feel like I'm able to do this and I am not really bothered about it, is I have come to the realization that this, for me, is registered as a winning trade, and I'm just waiting for the next trade now. All right. I'm still going to be following the same pair. I'm just waiting for the next trade now. And I just feel like I need a bigger sample space in order to judge my performance, not one losing, winning, or missed trade. So, what you are thinking right now is you missed the trade, so you have lost the trade. But losing should not be based on one trade or one opportunity. Losing should be based on the sample space. So, if you miss out on this trade, you're going to take another one. You're going to take another one. You're going to take like 5 or 6 more trades, right? It is at the end of the 5 or 6 more trades that you have like, you should have the right to be angry. All right. But if you make it like that, that is going to make you a little bit more condensed, and you're not going to be making, rushing back into a trade, because there's more trades to come. It shouldn't be about this trade alone, right? You should not be angry about missing out of one trade. This one is a very, very annoying thing. It's as annoying as, you enter a trade, it's in profit for a little while, then it goes back against you. You ask yourself, should you close? You did not close, you took the full SL. everything is going to be annoying, but you need to bring yourself down to that level where you are okay with everything. You know, you just like be like, okay, there's a next trade. What did I do wrong here? For example, here I'm already seeing what I did wrong. All right. I would not really say I did wrong because there was a time that I was convinced that, like the body is everything. But the only thing I can tell myself now is, okay, maybe next time I should just be paying attention to, like, just making sure I even get in the trade to start with. But sometimes you get in the trade and this is what you see. You get in the trade too early and then you see something like a push all the way to the extreme before the market drops down. So should I blame myself for something that I have seen before, and regardless of if this one happened like this or it happened the other way around? If it happened the other way around, I would have been happy I entered a bit late. So why should I be bothering myself over the fact that I still followed the same rule, but the market decided to do what it wants to do here today? So just give yourself reason why you should be, like, okay with whatever happens. So far you follow the rules, but that is the major thing, following the rules. Do you have a rule that you have set that you are following? That's the issue. If you don't have, like, if you are taking trades at random, then there is no way you can get yourself to be happy with, like things like this. You want to catch everyone because you are in a competition. You're in a competition with the market. That's the issue. Being in a competition with the market, nah, it doesn't work. TJ is
risking this amount, go here, I can get it back on the next one. So I even want to dare the market to take that money so that I can get it back on the next one. In a way, it is not as easy as it sounds, but that is the only way. That's the only way you can start overcoming your fear. And also, you need to have a strategy that tells you or that assures you that with your edge over time, you are going to be profitable. That way, you will not be afraid of even losing at all. If you are still afraid of losing, and the only reason why you'll be afraid of losing is if you are going to lose all your money in one or two trades, all right? But if you can get over the idea of you're not going to lose your money in one or two trades, then it takes away the fear, if you ask me. Yeah.